Well, hello everybody. So it's Peter here down in the old man shed. I'm playing trains at the moment. It's been a lovely day today, Saturday. Although it's November, it wasn't that cold today, so I'm able to come down the shed and not even got the heater on, and it's very nice. Yeah, hope I find you all safe and well with what's going on at the moment. Again, we're all on lockdown again, aren't we? But yeah, it is what it is, and just lets me do even more modelling. So what's been happening? A couple of little bits done on the layout once again. All the last videos, apart from the last one, which was a running session really, but as you know, the last big things I've been putting on the layout is lights, getting all the lights on there. And even when I left you last time, there was a couple of places I thought myself, oh yeah, I've got to put a light there now. And one of the locations I said was the advertising hoarding. Let's see if I can zoom in. So that is now done now. As you can see, it's now got arena lights up there, or stadium lights, shining inwards, only the double one, because there's a double one there and there's a double one there. So hopefully now that top estate has got, what with their own buildings have got lights. In theory now the whole area should be bathed. That one, the little rapid, is it rapid? Let's zoom in, sorry, I'm holding the camera again. Yeah, Rapid Car Parts, that's the old Backman Scenecraft resin building. Very nice, very handy little thing, but it's devoid of any windows. And what doors it have, which is at the front there, they're all shut. So basically it's a resin kit, a solid shell, can't be solid, a shell, a resin shell, and you get what it is. So I'll put some more signage on there in the past, but where I've got the mechanics working on the car in the front there, when the lights all went off, they was in the dark. So as you can see, I've put a lamp over the shutter doors now, so if when they're working away, they do have lights working on, you know, to work by now. What else? I did put another one of those over there on the entrance to what was the old steam shed. There she is, another one there. I would like to put a lamp over the steam sheds coming out either side of the steam sheds opening, but that is another resin kit, as you know, may or may not know. She's been in place ever since I've done all the scenics, and because of that it's stuck fast. So where, you know, everything was stuck down with PVA, you know, the track, the ballasting, the greenery, shrubbery and everything, the PVA has worked its way underneath the building and it's stuck fast, and the whole layout was covered in cork. The baseboard was all covered in a cork, 1/8 inch cork, I think it is, thickness, well, quite a thick cork anyway. And if I was to try and pull that up, it's going to pull up half the, you know, half the scenic stuff with it, and to possibly rip up the cork as well. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to live with that until maybe one day I can find a way of drilling. It's not so much putting the lamp in it, it's the wiring, you know, getting to the wiring. Once you pass the light through, you've got to bring the, you know, try to hide the wiring. Anyway, so that's all right, I can live with that. Down the front here now, oh yeah, there we are. Again, when you turn the lights out, although this area here, with the fueling point and the shed itself and the stores, warehouse, that's all, you know, nicely illuminated. And yes, I know I've got yard lamps, my own version of them. Oh, got me cat just jumped up on me that here, thank you pussycat. Yeah, I've got that. So in theory it should be, you know, giving light to all the area below it. It, you know, obviously it doesn't, so I put 2 of those little lights alongside the TMD shed. So that's quite nice, because when you turn the lights out now, it gives a nice little glow down onto whatever engines is alongside that track now. So that's you know, keeps the inside, so you've got a nice bright interior, but you also can see outside. Now let's go about the history of this this layout. When it first went on to a bare baseboard and I just had the tracks down, before all the scenery was done, obviously. So, and these private sidings and everything was made, that was obviously all open. And what used to happen, the way I had it in my mind that the layout would work, was that I would have an engine sitting there waiting for its turn of duty, because it's got a points there that takes it onto the main track. So what I would do, where the train is coming out now, before the train came out, I would stop it. I would bring the loco out from there onto the main track, bring it along the main track, bring it along to this set of points, take it past this set of points and stop it. Now you go back to where the train's coming out, the train would come along, stop it before the set of points, uncouple it, bring it off the set of points into this front side in here, go off a little bit, stay there, the train that was waiting along here comes back, picks up the wagons and off it goes. And then the train that's there can run all the way along the front here, all the way along the front. If there wasn't anything here, it would go all the way back to there, to the sidings there, waiting for its next turn of duty. All right, so you get what I mean. Let's stand up and you can see what the track plans. Yeah, so there they are. So you've got the sidings, you could bring it onto the main track, but there's the set of points that would bring them off. But then of course I went and put all the scenics down and then I found myself liking some other locos out there that weren't my era as such, that I do like to have running, such as the 33. And the 33 is a preserved loco, and I thought, where can I keep her? Well, those sidings over there, once again, I like to keep it to a minimum. I like that look where there's not too much on those sidings, so you can see where it's got the greenery and the, you know, overgrown and all the rest of it. If you go back again to my early videos, you would have seen there was an engine shed there, because the whole thing about the layout was it's just going to be all engines running everywhere. So what do you need? You need sidings going into the layout, into the middle area, where you would have an engine shed there with that set of points, and then those set of points at the back there would come down and there'd be another engine shed, which is all very nice. But I got bored with it because you couldn't see what was there, because everything's in an engine shed, you know. I had 2 or 3 locos sitting there, but you couldn't see them. Took it off, liked the idea of having sidings as I've done there, and that's what we've gone with. So we've got quiet sidings, and we've actually got the TMD yard. All right. So that's the layout. That's how, you know, she's evolved. So of course down there now, that doesn't work anymore. That's where I can now keep my preserved loco, be it 33 in this particular case, or it could be my little H-class steam engine that I sometimes have there. But whatever. So it's what I call the private sidings, hence the gate over it. So it means that the you know, can't operate this front piece of track the way I was going to. So that instead the trains just have to go backwards and forwards up this junction there, going up to where the 237s are, you know. So I use that bit of track to take a loco off the main track and then run another one back onto the main track. So that's what I have to do, but I can live with that. What else I've done? So as well as the lights, now this walkway is by Nightwing, company called Nightwing. It's plastic model kit, and she's sitting there, but she actually I intended it to go over in the sidings and put it there, and I don't know, it just didn't suit. I thought, no, I don't like it, so found a place for it in the front here, and I thought, well, that's all right, that's worked out okay. Two locos, you know, are sitting there, and excuse me. Oh, sorry. Oh dear. Right, sorry, excuse me. So 2 locos can stay there, and this is where my brain works, right? I get into my world that I've created, you know, in my mind's eye, and it starts becoming real. And I was looking at this site, I was looking at this walkway, and I've got some people on there. I've got a geezer there chatting to the driver in that loco there, and I thought to myself, well, how do they get over here from the main yard? You know, that's the yard where all the activity goes on. And I thought to myself, how do the drivers, if they're coming across here to use this lovely elevated platform to get onto the locos, well, how the hell do they get over? So it was a question of, I think what it was, I've done the length for this one, and this is where the crossing is, and I thought it would be nice to have a light there, and would be nice to have a light this side, either side of the crossing, yeah? And as you know, the crossing brings you over to a footpath to get access to the generating room, or is it a power station, whatever that building is, yeah? And that's what I've done. I've saw the crossing, got more, cut the fence, cut a hole in the fence, brought it across, put signage saying beware the trains, and then down the front here, as you can see, little footpath coming along, up to the hut, go around the hut and to the steps of the elevated walkway. So that's how the drivers can make their way from Torridon Road yard across that crossing there. If you're wondering what that hut was, whatever it is, I know it's a line side hut, but it's the reason why it's there, it's hiding the very first power connection to the whole circuit. For about a year and a half, that's all that powered all of the circuit, and it's still, you know, still good enough to this day. But underneath here, the wires I've spurred off, and they're soldered underneath to this track here and to that track there. So the three tracks there, they do have a power supply coming from the controller, so don't rely just on this thing here. But I had to cut around the footpath to put around it. The front of the hut, when you see it, is butchered, yeah, and that is so that it can sit back on there. So even more good news for the drivers, because it's got a little chimney. I take it there's tea making facilities and a little fire inside there. That's where the drivers can wait before they go up onto their locos and take it out. Oh dear, what am I like? That's that's the way my brain works. 66040 is the Bachmann sound fitted Class 66. That's now had its lights configuration change with the illuminated models, so that all 4 lights are illuminated just as they are in the real world now on 66s. I'm not saying for that particular number, but as you know, the Class 66 is having upgraded lights, not all of them. This one here is the Hattons. This is the style that this one coming around did have, and where it had the outside daytime running lights, they were just bits of painted tempo printing on the Bachmann, whereas on the Hattons one they actually do work, so that's fine. Now illuminated models do have a kit that if you want to try and retain the same look, it would mean drilling out those little white patches, and in the end I chickened out, and I thought to myself, well, you know what, don't have to, because in the real world they are running with new lights, which means they have all 4 lights running. So I've got 4 of those Class 66s that have that style. They've all been amended now, so they all run now with 4 lights on, which is absolutely fine and looks so much better. I think one's hiding away, yeah, one's hiding away in the tea and in the yard. That's the DB Schenker one. So that's works. When that goes around, that has all 4 lights on. Let's see, I'm going to go through my little list of 66s. Hold on. Right, okay, so here we are. So here's all my 66s. So we have Evening Star. That's runs with just the 3 lights on. The 2 outer, the 2 middle ones are on and 1 outer one. That's correct. This one again had the white tempo printed, so that's been replaced. We run with all 4 lights. This one runs with all 4 lights. This one runs with the 3. This one runs with the 3. Now these two, one of these runs with 4 lights on maybe, and one of them runs with the 3 lights on. I can't remember which one's what until I put it on the track to see it, what comes up. But you know, they're the same style of headlights, and yet they can be either all 4 can be on, or just the 2 inner ones and the 1 outer one. Okay, and then of course back to the other bug eye one, which has just the 3 lights. So all my 66s are now got the illuminated models kit, and they are prototypical now because they've all been modified to run as they do. Okay, back to the track again. So yes, so that's been changed. The driver has been changed in there now. Got rid of the backman thing. I think I've got one of my painted up backman figures in there. Oh yeah, the signal box. I improved the furniture that was in there. Scale model scenery, make little desks. Let's bring it over. There they are. Okay, with little chairs. And that's what I've been making up. And she's now lift the lid off. And there we are. We've got proper little office chairs now, and office tables and chairs. So he's got somewhere to sit. So he looks good. I think you can just about see him through the windows. You can see a little bit of red as the seats. So that's that. The other thing is, I'm a bit reluctant to show you, is that. Have you heard of this product, guys? I'm using it now. I haven't cleaned the track with a track rubber now for over 3 weeks. Instead, what I use is that. There is a track rubber. It's all wrapped up in this piece of lint-free cloth that I use. So because like a sanding block, keeps it nice and flat underneath. Yes, you can see it's dirty. What you do, that's the pump action device. That's the one little, I'll just put a dropper onto the cotton bud. Give it a couple of pump actions on that. Rub it on the track from about here all the way down to there, and on the other track, and it picks up the dirty bits that's already there, leaves behind the new stuff, and it stays wet. You just run, you don't wipe it off, you just run your trains. The trains take it around the rest of the track, and I'm not kidding you, yes, you still get a black mark on your finger. It's not spotless, but I'll get perfect running. I don't get no flickering with the lights or anything now, guys. It's absolutely great. But I will show you. You do get, let's see, where's your finger? You do get a black mark on your finger, you see? But it's an oily black mark. Look, it just rubs away. It's not really burnt carbon like you used to get that built up, or a sludge that used to build up on your wheels. It literally doesn't dry, so therefore, say like on this plastic frog here, you see it, you're glistening with the moisture, and it doesn't dry, and it just gives you conductivity. But the bad news, and the reason why I really didn't want to tell you a lot, is it doesn't get on with traction tyres. If you're running a loco with traction tyres, it will destroy your traction tyres. It doesn't like the rubber. So it's not for everybody. I don't know, I didn't set out for it to be like this way. I mean, like, I sometimes think myself, poor little me, I've only got a small layout with Hornby set track and everything, but it's all still fallen into my lap, because now this stuff doesn't attack the plastic or anything. And well, what can I say, over 3 weeks, you saw what I said I'd do, is that I just put some on that cloth, run it around the first part of the layout here, and that's it. And I'll just let the locos and the wagons, they all get onto their wheels. It takes it all the way around the track and spreads it everywhere, and it just stays damp, it just stays moist. And whilst it's staying like that, it lets the electricity flow, and I don't get any dead spots on the track or any flickering with the lights. I mean, let's see, I'm going to bring next time this one comes round, I'm going to slow her right down so she will crawl. So this one here with the yellow wagons, I'm going to slow right down. She's running around at 15 speed steps out of 28 at the moment. Right, so I'm shutting it down to 3. Alright, so you'll hear the 37 come round. So this is going to take quite a while, he says. Hold up, let's bring it round, hold on. Let's bring it round a little bit, otherwise we'll be here all day. Here she comes. So with all the lights on, you'll soon see if there's any dead spots or anything wrong with the pickups or whatever. So we're now running at 3 speed steps out of 28. So this is the bit with the happens with the backman, goes across 2 Hornby points, and as it goes across, the front and the back bogies go across the plastic frogs both at the same time. So even though this is a superb loco for pickups, the points still give it trouble sometimes if the wheels aren't clean. Well, there you are. And that's it. So that's with that, when you wipe your finger on it, even though you get that black mark, doesn't mean to say that it's not able to pick up. It does. And what happens when I look at the track and it's like looking a little bit dirty, even though it's still running, I will do that trick with the cloth, put some fresh stuff on there, run the cloth over it. It picks up the dirty stuff, leaves behind the clean stuff, let the train run along, and it doesn't dry. I mean, it will get black because this is a garden shed at the end of the day. I mean, it gets dust and God knows what else anyway in the air. It's not just the carbon from where the wheels used to arc as they went across the tracks. Stops all that. Right, well, okay, waffled on a lot. So that's the what's happening with my world at the moment. I think, as I said, don't think I will be doing any more lights. I think I'm there with the lights now. I mean, if ever I can find a yard lamp, I will probably replace them, but they'll have to do for now, where I just did that modification. And maybe one day I will try to put lights on that engine shed on the outside. It's got lights on the inside, but it's the outside. In the front here again, yeah, I put a street light here. I quite like this little corner. It's quite nice. I mean, if you remember, it's where, well, if you don't know, it's where I had the control box sitting on there, and of course it just left a huge gap there once I took the control box away. But just make that little diode there. Nothing in the buildings, it's just a couple of lights. But yeah, so the footpath coming across, and you can see the footpath in the front here. Great, and that goes up onto that walkway. Oh, well, there we are, we've come round again. We've also been zooming around, no problems whatsoever. Right, I'll sign off. Maybe I should put the sound, but maybe on the right, because these are sound locos. Speed her up a bit. I haven't got any red lights on the back of that 66 because I've turned them off. It's not that they don't work, it's because it's got an end of train lamp. I've done it as it would be in real life, you know, where I've turned the red lights off. So they're on the front and there's an end of train lamp on the very last wagon. I haven't done that on the Cassiopeia there in 37. So I'm happily playing trains at the moment until I can think of something else maybe to do. I don't know, but it's all good. And although I've got the sound running, so it's a bit hard to hear me, what I'll do, the last thing I'll do, I'll give you a nighttime shot So hold on. Okay, so here we are, we're back again with all the lights, just the shed light on, giving him what I like to call a dusk setting. And that's the light. So you can see how that looks quite good now over the outside the shed. You see, that gives a little bit of light now down onto the line just outside there. There's floodlights over there. As I said, there is lights inside the shed. The one on there for the rapid, there we are. See, that's nice and light for them guys now. And obviously I've got that floodlight up there now for that estate. All good. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Stay safe. You know, we're all locked down again now. This is what it is. Whether or not it works or not, I don't know. Don't know who the new president of the United States is. Oh dear. Oh dear. But you know what? Don't care. So long as I've got my trains to keep me going, I'm happy. All right, people. I'll sign off. That's long enough now. Kept you going. Thanks for watching. Love your new videos, everybody. You're all doing well. Graham at Lakeside. Oh, that's going to look absolutely fantastic with the canal. Alan, as I said, you're playing games now. It's Spot the 66, isn't it? Is it a Hornby or is it a Backman now? So you're obviously happy. Robert, building a fiddle yard. Yeah. Well done, everybody. You know, I'll look in on all your videos. I've got about 200 people that I've subscribed to, you know, all these layouts and things. Do like seeing what everybody else is doing. But as for me, that's it for now. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. Bye for now. Bye.